This week on the Appalachian Weekly News. The COVID-19 pandemic continues in the high country. Find out where you can get tested.
A historical attraction in Blowing Rock is adding several new features and food in the next few months.
And the Mountaineers football team dominate the field in their first victory against Charlotte in the fall 2020 season.
All of this and more on this week's episode of the Appalachian Weekly News.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on this Friday, September 18th, live from the Beasley Media Complex in Boone. This is the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Hadasa Rivera.
And I'm Katie Garceran. Now for an update on the COVID-19 pandemic in the high country. As of September 18th, there are 96 active cases in App State students and 1 in employees. Watauga County has lost at least 4 people within the past 2 weeks to COVID-19. All of these cases have been related to a cluster at the Glenbridge Health and Rehabilitation Center. An inside source at the center says another patient passed away due to the virus yesterday. App State sent out an email this week confirming a cluster of COVID-19 cases at Thunderhill Hall. There are 7 active cases, 5 of them are past the isolation stage, and 2 are recovering in isolation. Staff have reached out to anybody that has come into close contact with the students infected and alerted them of the situation.
Seeing apple cart bus stops all across town is no surprise for the Boone community. A lot of students rely on the bus system, and with the pandemic in full force, Apple Cart is taking additional precautionary measures to avoid the spread of COVID-19. Some of that response includes spraying and wiping down common contact areas, providing sanitizing wipes for staff and separation barriers.
Over the past few days, there has definitely been a rise in cases on campus.
There sure has, and if you're feeling ill, pop-up testing is available. You can also be tested at Student Health during the week. Faculty, staff, and students can also be tested at App Healthcare Monday through Friday.
You should be tested if you believe you have symptoms of COVID-19, if you have been in close contact with someone who is positive, and if social distancing is hard to maintain where you work or live.
Pop-up testing will be available at the River Street parking deck tomorrow from 12 to 5. Stay safe and be responsible, Mountaineers.
Construction on the west side continues, but 2 new dorms are now open and housing students. Thunderhill and Raven Rock residence halls are named after overlooks on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Last Thursday, the Chancellor and other university administrators gathered at Thunderhill to cut the ceremonial completion ribbon. A student who chose to remain anonymous shared their thoughts on the ongoing construction of the dorm, even though construction is said to be complete.
When we moved in, they were still like fixing like the elevators. I remember like my third day here that the elevators, one of them just didn't work. And so I live on the top floor and I had to go all the way up, and that wasn't fun. And like our common rooms, like they smelled like paint for a couple weeks. So it was like, I just didn't want to go in there, and last time I went in there was no air.
Construction marks the completion of Phase 1 of the $191 million housing project App State signed in 2019. Phases 2 and 3 are underway, replacing Justice Hall. Laurel Creek Hall is replacing Justice and will be open to students next fall.
This week has been rainy all over, and I don't know about you, Katie, but I'm ready for some sun.
I definitely am too. Let's check in with our weather correspondent Aiyana to see if the clouds are going away anytime soon.
Good news, Katie. The rain is finally about to let up. Today's forecast calls for just a little bit of rain and clouds as we push out what's left of Hurricane Sally. It should be nice and sunny by Friday evening. The high will be 65 degrees and temperatures will drop all the way into the lower 40s by tonight. Be prepared for 79% humidity and 5-mile-per-hour winds. On Saturday, the high will be 62 degrees and temperatures will drop all the way to 38 degrees at night. During the day, expect to see partly cloudy skies with 55% humidity and 5-mile-per-hour winds. Saturday morning would be a great time to go for a morning hike or a jog because we're going to see low humidity levels and moderate temperatures. On Sunday, we're going to get a lot of sun. During the day, the high will be 61 degrees with 56% humidity and 5-mile-per-hour winds. Sunday night, temperatures will drop all the way down into the 30s with light winds. Monday calls for more sun with a high of 64 and a low of 42 degrees. Be prepared for 4-mile-per-hour winds and 62% humidity. I know we're not ready, but it's time to bring out the light jackets, Mountaineers. With temperatures dropping in the evening and humidity levels lowering, we know that fall will be here soon. Hadasa, Katie, the first official day of fall is September 22nd, so have your pumpkin treats ready.
Oh, I've been ready. Thank you very much for that, Aiyana.
Who doesn't love a good pumpkin treat, right?
For sure. Businesses all across the U.S. had to adapt in the wake of a global pandemic. Several small artists within Boone's local business community were no different. Artists found themselves changing the way they create, package their work, and interact with customers. Elizabeth Walton has been selling handmade jewelry since she was 8, and she says she makes sure to wear a mask every time she goes to the post office.
And packaging is clean. I'm very intentional to wear a mask going to the post office, just like for everyone's safety. And I try to go in the morning when it's less busy, just so like I'm around less people.
Similar to traditional businesses, artists who create and sell their products have to sanitize their inventory and take the right health precautions. Shipping delays all across the state also affect delivery dates, and local artists have had to rush to keep up with their orders. Despite its challenges, artists believe the pandemic's effects on their businesses haven't been completely negative. Let's talk about coffee. That cup of joe is what I look forward to every day, Katie.
Did someone say coffee? Oh wait, never mind. I'm already on my 3rd cup today. But I have seen that coffee cup on King Street. Our correspondent Aiyana Willoughby has the story on how Talia's Espresso is coping with COVID-19.
The coffee scene in Boone, North Carolina just got a little bit better. Talia Espresso opened up on King Street in February of 2020, bringing more coffee to the coffee lovers of Boone. Talia Espresso in Boone, North Carolina opened this year on February 26th. The coffee shop is conveniently located right across the street from the Turchin Center for Visual Arts on King Street. Talia provides students and locals with a quaint atmosphere along with fresh Italian-style espresso.
You get a unique experience when you come here. Our staff is very well trained in asking you how your day is. You're going to feel cared for and provided for when you come in here.
Now that students are back in town, business is better than ever, according to the owners, Jim and Kathy Kozak. Each beverage is handcrafted and made from a unique espresso blend designed by the owners.
I think what makes Talia's different is just the quality of espresso that we serve. We're very picky about our brand. Those beans were hand-picked, and we only want to serve the best.
For more information about Talia Espresso, visit their website at taliaespresso.com or follow their Instagram at taliaespresso_on-king. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Aiyana Willoughby.
With the pandemic in full force, your usual form of entertainment may not be an option right now. While most gatherings for live entertainment are currently closed, drive-in movie theaters are one of the few types of venues that continue to operate. Andy Wetzel is the owner and operator for State Line, a drive-in movie theater in Elizabethton, Tennessee. He said his business is up by 20% compared to previous years. His drive-in gives people the opportunity to enjoy films or live entertainment while social distancing. So next time you're looking for something to do, the nearest drive-in movie theater just might have you covered.
A few pictures of Boone made one student at App State TikTok famous. Riley Curtis's TikTok received over 100,000 views and earned him almost 4,000 new Instagram followers. He says he was originally inspired by his grandfather to take pictures and continues to do so to make people around him happy.
Some of my friends are very supportive, and my family is also, they've become more supportive. So I guess that inspires me to go out and try and capture new things, just to make them happy, and also to just have that connection with them where they have an appreciation for what I like to do. And I can also give them something tangible, to show that I am putting effort in to make them happy, I guess.
Although Curtis is popular on TikTok, he says that he doesn't want to continue making videos. If you want to check out Curtis's Instagram though, you can at Riley_Curtis_.
Within the theater department, students are getting the opportunity to have their voices heard through playwriting. Our correspondent Richard Barker has the story.
During these unique circumstances, various departments have to find ways to adjust and provide learning opportunities for the students. The theater department is doing just that, while providing a powerful message about our current times.
It was a way to create performance opportunities for the students. It was a way for the students to express what was going on in their lives, for their voices to be heard, and for us to do what we do as theater artists, which is to make meaning out of these really extraordinary things that happen in life.
The COVID Chronicles is a series of Zoom productions. Actors perform student-written monologues dealing with life during quarantine. One of the actors, Mac DiBernardo, explains how going online affected the rehearsal process.
We meet with our director one-on-one in Zoom to go through the monologue and talk over things that we need to change. But it's when you're not working in person, you kind of have to really sit and think to yourself, okay, what did they want from me that I, didn't quite grasp over Zoom, and then take that outside of the rehearsal period. Because usually in shows that I've been in the past at App, I have had 4 hours to be there with the director, but now it's 45-minute blocks.
Every monologue performed is written by students. They can be personal or fictitious. Chloe Mason is one such writer.
Oh, it's exciting. Yeah. I'm excited. I don't know. I wrote a play in high school, and my friends performed it, and that was really exciting. And I've written plays. I wrote one play. I'm working on another thing, but since then, and they've never been performed, and I like to think about maybe them being performed eventually. So this is very exciting. Yeah, even if they're just monologues.
The productions are open to the public, and digital tickets can be reserved at theateranddance.appstate.edu. For Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Richard Barker.
This past Saturday, we sure took a win over UNCC. Let's see what else is new for sports this week.
Connor, what have you got for us?
Yeah, that's right, guys. Football season is finally back, and on Saturday, App State defeated Charlotte 35-20 to notch its first win of the 2020 season. App State's three-headed monster running back trio, consisting of senior Marcus Williams, junior Daytrick Harrington, and sophomore Cam Peoples, rushed for 279 yards and 4 touchdowns. Senior quarterback Zach Thomas added 204 passing yards and 1 touchdown. The Mountaineers committed 3 turnovers, but forced 2 turnovers from Charlotte. The win put App State at number 23 in the national rankings. Tomorrow, App State heads to Huntington, West Virginia to take on Marshall, who is an old rival from when both teams were in the Southern Conference. In App State's first football game, there were no fans in the stadium. This was particularly frustrating for parents of players who wouldn't get to see their kids play in person. Players and parents have made statements about wanting parents to be in attendance for games, and even noted how it could be done while social distancing. Kid Brewer Stadium has 30,000 seats, and there would only need to be 200 to 300 parents in the stands, which would leave plenty of room for social distancing. However, as of right now, no changes have been made to allow all parents to attend games. With nobody allowed at games, fans need to find new ways to watch their Mountaineers play. Our correspondent Allie Powell has a story.
App State's fall athletics are fast approaching, but unfortunately cheering on the Mountaineers will look a little different this season. Many Mountaineer fans have been affected by the change in game day activities due to COVID-19. I think most of us can agree that we are missing the atmosphere of all sporting events at App State and the energy and excitement it contains. Sophomore Mackenzie Hale comments on her feelings about the lack of attendance in stadiums.
I think it's weird because you don't see people on TV in the stands, and I think it's really sad for the players to not have their families. But I mean, it is what it is, and we're all fans of the Mountaineers, so we're going to find a way to cheer for them no matter what.
Since tailgating is not permitted on App State's campus right now, fans are having to get creative with ways to support their Mountaineers from home. Sophomore Kate Wells shares how she is choosing to make game day special.
Yes, so me and a few of my friends, we all went to River Street Ale House, and we watched the game there. We decided that we really didn't want to watch it alone. We wanted to have kind of the atmosphere because, like, I love the atmosphere that football provides.
Since fans are unable to physically attend games, the fall sports will be able to be streamed on ESPN+. App State's volleyball team will have 6 matches streamed, starting with a game against South Alabama on October 9th at 6 p.m. Also, App State women's soccer team is set to have 6 games streamed. The first 2 games were on September 10th and 13th against Pitt, but you can catch the next one on September 17th at 5 p.m. against Georgia State. App State's home football games will be accessed on multiple ESPN platforms. Even though game days are not the same as years past, fans can still enjoy watching their Mountaineers on TV and showing support in any way they can. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Allie Powell.
App State football has recently announced that multiple games this season will be nationally televised. Mountaineers have 4 nationally televised games, including tomorrow against Marshall on CBS, October 7th against Louisiana on ESPN, October 14th against Georgia Southern on ESPN, and October 22nd against Arkansas State on ESPN. In May, many sports teams were cut due to the coronavirus pandemic. App State Athletics had to cut certain programs to be able to afford others. Among those cut was the men's indoor track and field team. The women's indoor track and field team is still competing this fall, and as of right now, the men's track team is set to compete in the spring. Women's soccer has had a rough start to its season. The Mountaineers began their season with 2 games against Pitt, which they lost 4-0 and 7-1. Last night, they faced Georgia State in Boone, but lost a close match 1-2. Georgia State scored a late goal in the 85th minute to tie the game at 1-1 to force extra time before scoring the game-winning goal in the 104th minute. App State now looks ahead to Georgia Southern on Sunday. And that's all I have for sports this week. I'm Connor Davidson. Katie, Hadasa, let's hope Mountaineers can crank out that win against Marshall tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully, Connor. We'd love to see another win for the Mountaineers.
We sure would. And now it's time for your High Country High Note. Mystery Hill, a historical landmark that has been around for more than 70 years, is undergoing changes and new additions to their long list of family fun. Our correspondent Anna Muckenfuss has the story.
If you've ever driven from Boone to Blowing Rock, you've probably passed by Mystery Hill at some point. But there's more to this famous attraction than meets the eye.
For 73 years, Mystery Hill has been home to several attractions, including the historic Doherty House, a Native American artifacts collection, and a tomahawk throwing arena. But it is probably best known for a gravitational anomaly that has stumped visitors and locals alike since 1948. Matthew Underwood, the current CEO of Mystery Hill, says during the tour, visitors will experience many unexplained phenomena, including objects hanging in the air.
It wasn't until the mid-1940s that they actually started showing this strange hillside that they had discovered where it made you feel a little dizzy or lightheaded when you walked through it. The trees grew funny in that area. The apples that fell out of the trees landed funny. It is an actual, true natural gravitational anomaly, so you'll actually experience things hanging in midair, taking more force to move one direction than the other. Probably one of the most unusual things you'll do anywhere in this region.
Major changes are coming to the venue, and planning is now underway to add several new attractions. A new gem mine called Prospector Hill with new interactive features is one of them. In front of Mystery Hill, visitors will be able to pedal up and down the greenway on the River Runners pedal carts. Front Porch Eats, which was an addition to Mystery Hill starting last year, will also be adding new items to the menu.
Famous for our milkshakes, and our milkshakes are all made with milk and ice cream from Cheek Creamery, which is our local creamery, been in operation for 40-some years, so it's low-temp pasteurized milk, makes one of the best vanilla milkshakes you've ever had in your life. And they're actually stepping up their milkshake game. We're doing these sort of over-the-top mason cup milkshakes that you'll just have to see them to see what they are. They're really amazing.
Most of the new attractions at Mystery Hill won't be open until mid-October. Until then, I'll be here practicing my aim. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Anna Muckenfuss.
For a more detailed look at the history and happenings of Mystery Hill, tune into the Appalachian Front here on App TV September 23rd at 7 p.m. And are you motivated, energized, and passionate? Then come join our staff.
That's right, Katie. We currently have several positions open. We are looking for 2 political correspondents, a weather correspondent, and an anchor for our daily news show.
If you are interested, go to our social media to find out more about how you can apply. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at App Weekly News for all of the latest updates on news around the High Country.
That's a report this week. I'm Hadasa Rivera.
And I'm Katie Garceran. For all of us at the Appalachian Weekly News, thank you for watching.
Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.